Hello everyone, my name is Dharmendra Soni. I'm an assistant professor of English, currently working at Government College Ahor, which is situated in the district of Jalore. So, students, today we would be studying one of the most important and beautiful poems in English literature named She Walks in Beauty, which was composed by Lord Byron. So, before starting the poem, it is really very important for us to know about the composer of the poem, whose name was Lord Byron, who is also known as George Gordon. Lord Byron, born on 22nd January 1788. As you can see the date over here, he was born in London. George Lord Byron, known for his passionate musical poetry and his larger-than-life personality. There is one more thing that you need to keep in mind, that Lord Byron was a leading figure among the Romantic poets. I'm drawing a line under these words so that it would be not difficult for you to keep this detail in your mind. Lord Byron, he was also often called a Byronic hero in life. As you can see that Lord Byron was really very handsome and rebellious, mysterious and flawed, just like many of his characters. Byron's personal life was full of travel, adventure, scandal and love affairs, which often influenced his writing. There are some more major writings by this poet. So let's see what other poems he wrote. Childe Harold's Pilgrimage, Don Juan, and shorter poems like She Walks in Beauty, inspired by a real encounter with a woman of striking grace. So before jumping into the explanation of this poem, it is really very important to know about the historical background of this poem. So let's know what the historical background of this poem which led the writer to write this fantastic piece of poetry. As you know that this poem was written in the year 1814. Keep this year in your mind, okay? Byron saw Mrs. Anne Beatrix Wilmot. As you can see, there is a lady in the photograph. She is Mrs. Anne Beatrix. And here is Lord Byron. Lord Byron saw her for the first time in a party. She was wearing a black dress decorated with sparkling sequins, which made her look like a night full of stars. As you can see in the picture as to how beautiful this lady is looking. Her physical beauty and inner goodness inspired Byron to write this beautiful piece of poetry. If we want to know more about the theme of the poem, we can say that it is combined outer beauty and inner purity, showing harmony between darkness and brightness. So this is the theme of the poem. So let's recite this poem. She walks in beauty, like the night, of cloudless climes and starry skies, and all that is best of dark and bright meet in her aspect and her eyes. Thus mellowed to that tender light which heaven to gaudy day denies, one shed the more, one ray the less, had half impaired the nameless grace, or softly lightens over her face, where thoughts serenely sweet express how pure, how dear that dwelling place, and on that cheek and over that brow, so soft, so calm, yet eloquent, the smiles that win, the tints that glow, but tell of days in goodness spent, a mind at peace with all below. As you can see, it is so beautiful poem. You would really love reciting this poem. So let's jump into the explanation of the poem, and I'm going to read the line by line explanation of the poem. So let's move to the first line. She walks in beauty. She walks in beauty like the night. The woman here is compared to the calm and beautiful night. Here, walks mean move gracefully, like the night. So here the poet is using the figure of the speech simile, that she is not like the day, which is bright and harsh, but like the night, which is usually calm, peaceful, and mysterious. Of cloudless climes and starry skies, which means she's like a clear night sky in a place without clouds, full of shining stars, full of shining stars. Here, the word climes mean regions or climates, and starry skies mean a sky filled with stars. And all that is best of dark and bright. All that is best of dark and bright means the best qualities of darkness and brightness. Darkness means calm and mysterious, and brightness means light, clarity, which come together in her. This is how beautiful she was looking when Lord Byron saw her for the first time. Here the word aspect means appearance. Let's move to the fourth line. Meet in her aspect and her eyes, which means these opposite qualities which the composer is talking about, darkness and brightness, they are perfectly balanced in her face and in her eyes. Let's move to the next line. Thus mellowed to that tender light, which means this mixture creates a soft, gentle light, soft and gentle light in her appearance. Mellowed here means softened, which made her look gentle, and tender light means a calm and delicate glow. So let's move to the second stanza. One shade the more, one ray the less. One shade the more, one ray the less. If there was a little more shadow, shadow here means darkness, a little less light, her beauty would not be so perfect. And here shadow means darkness. Shadow means darkness, and ray means beam of light. Had half impaired the nameless grace. Even a small change in the balance of light and dark would spoil her mysterious and indescribable beauty. If we talk about the keywords in these lines, impaired, there is a word impaired, which means damaged and weakened. And nameless grace means beauty so special that it cannot be described in words. Which waves in every raven trace. It means this grace is seen in the way her dark shining hair flows. Her hair were looking so beautiful at the moment, like they were compared with raven trace. And raven trace means black like a raven bird. You must have seen a very big bird which is known as raven. So here is making a comparison between her hair. Trees, a lock of hair, or softly lightens over her face, or in the gentle brightness that shines softly across her face. Here lightens means brightens or shines. Where thoughts serenely sweet express. Where thoughts serenely sweet express means her calm and gentle thoughts are reflected in her expression. Here serenely means peaceful and calmly. Let's move to the next line. How pure, how dear their dwelling place. How pure, how dear their dwelling place means these thoughts which the poet is talking about live in her pure and precious heart and mind. Dwelling place means The place where something lives, which is like house. Here, dwelling place means her heart, actually, her heart and mind. Let's move to the last stanza of this poetry. And on that cheek and over that brow, which means her beauty is seen in the soft blush on her cheek. Her beauty is seen in the soft blush on her cheek and the calmness of her forehead. Is talking about her cheek and her forehead, or her eyebrows actually. The keywords are brow, which means forehead. So let's move to the next line. So soft, so calm, yet eloquent, which means her face looks gentle, her face looks calm. In spite of that fact, it speaks powerfully of her inner goodness. Here the poet is talking about her inner goodness. Is not talking about her physical qualities, is talking about her inner qualities and characteristics. Here, that is the word eloquent. You must be familiar with the word eloquent, which means expressive and speaking without words. The smiles that win the tints that glow. The smiles that win the tints that glow means her sweet smile. Here, the poet is emphasizing her smile and healthy color, which means the tints of her skin. Now he is talking about the skin tone of the lady, which makes her appear attractive and kind. Tints means soft colors. Tint means soft colors or a complexion. And glow means shines with health and warmth. But tale of days in goodness is spent. These outward signs of beauty show a life lived in kindness, virtue, and goodness. The life that this lady lived was full of kindness and kind acts. She was so virtuous a lady. She was so good a lady. A mind at peace with all below. A mind at peace with all below. Which means her calm face shows that her mind is peaceful, free from conflict, and in harmony with the world. At peace, as you can see in the words, at peace, which means calm without trouble. And below here means the earthly world and the life around her. So moving to the next line, or we can say this is the final line of this stanza in the poem, a heart whose love is innocent. How beautiful this line is, which means that the heart of this lady is so pure and her love is innocent, without selfishness or lust. Innocent means pure. Innocent means pure, free from guilt or sin. So here, Byron shows that her beauty is not just physical, but also reflects her inner life. He's not talking about her beauty, physical beauty. He's also talking about her inner life, her cheeks, her forehead, her smile. Everything reveals that she lives a life of virtue. She lived a life of virtue, peace, and purity. And her mind is so calm and her heart is pure, which makes her true beauty, both inner and outer. So this was the explanation of this poem, and as you can see, the devices which were used in the poetry, and there are some difficult words which you can also go through, and the paraphrases here, the tone of the speakers and the speaker's attitude and poem's mood can also be seen here. So that was it about the poem, and I hope I was able to explain this poem to the depth of it. Thank you so much. Have a nice day.